Go ahead, you guys.
The offensive line, you picked up 3 guys. How can you kind of go through your thoughts on those 3?
Yeah, I think all 3 guys fit the mold of really what we've looked for in offensive linemen. Getting 2 from in-state, which is really exciting from our end of it. Really like both those guys. I think, both Trevor and Zach have all the ability to be multiple in what they do. I think Zach's more of a center guard. I think Trevor can kind of play all 5 spots for us. And then obviously getting Joey Ramos. And I think Joey's got the skill and talent to play all 5 spots as well. So, those were 3 guys we targeted really early in the process and 3 guys at the end that we were able to get. So I think we're all excited about all 3 of those guys.
You said they fit the mold. What you're looking for when it comes to offensive linemen, what are those things that you're looking for?
Well, tough, position flexibility, probably the 2 biggest things, and I think all 3 of those guys embody those things. So, as we've always recruited with a plan, I think those are foundational principles that really jump off the film with all 3 of those guys.
You lose, depth chart wise, all 3 starting safeties, so obviously getting great guys worth is important. I think you targeted him way back in the spring. I mean, what was the importance of getting a guy like that and getting him in the spring to compete for that job?
Well, I think what you said, in terms of knowing that you're going to lose some guys that have played. Now, I will say this, I think we feel really confident with the young guys in our program too. And, I think that's an area where you got some guys that, we can move around, whether they played some corner, can play some safety, can do a lot for us. I feel that defensive backfield's in a really good shape right now for the future of our program. But getting a guy like Greg Eisworth, that was important. Greg's one of those guys that when you meet him and when you talk to him, he's a high-end academic young man, high-end character guy, a guy that's played really hard. And again, you talk position flexibility, could probably play all 5 spots in that secondary. So we knew we wanted to at least get somebody like that had some veteran experience. But I thought that was a great get and be able to finish it off for us. That was great. But, I think Greg's equal, his maturity and what he brings off the field equates what he brings on the field too for us.
When do you expect to find anything about Kyle?
Yeah, I don't even know. I wish I knew more about that other than, it's kind of a unique situation and there's really no precedence on it. So, I know that we've done everything from our end. And so I'd love to find something out before the game, but I don't know if we will or won't.
In what ways did that, or if it did, affect anything you're doing quarterback-wise, for the future?
Yeah, it really didn't, and it really hasn't. I think we've had a mindset of, kind of a lot of uncertainty, I guess, a little bit of trying to figure out exactly what did the future hold with that position. But, I think our thing is when we came in, that was not an area that had great depth. We were able to create some depth in there. And I think that's an area we just got to continue to do a really good job. We got some guys that have been injured, getting healthy, certainly with Devin. But we just got to make the right call on that and really excited that Real will be here kind of in the spring. So I think we'll have even more idea of what our depth looks like at that position.
Did Devin do anything in December?
He did. He threw 7-on-7, which was great. Great to see him back out there. That's, I'll be honest with you, it's light years of where Zeb was. Zeb only threw 7-on-7 in spring last year. So to be able to get Dev to do that and to, hopefully you can now get him, really full go by the time you get to spring practice, that's a real positive and a tribute to Mark Coberly and our athletic training staff too.
What was the pitch on Kemp to the NCAA? I mean, would you go off the injuries or what?
Well, I think a little bit of it was the coaching changes that happened for him in Oregon State, the coaching changes that happened, in the junior college that he did attend. Again, certainly a precedent for that a little bit. I think Tanner Lee in Nebraska had a very similar type situation. So, I think that was that's kind of the foundation that we put towards that. Now, whatever happens, and we'll live with it.
Was bowl prep kind of a ramp up slowly and cool down kind of thing, and how did it all shape up? Yeah,
we used the first 2 weeks for us to really kind of address our young guys. We've had so many guys play so many snaps for us that I thought it was really critical for those older guys, a lot of our veterans, to get healthy. And so I think that really worked to our advantage. And then we had finals. We took finals week off. We you know, took that weekend off, and then we started back on Tuesday and kind of got back into game week this week. So it's been really enjoyable to start to kind of put the game plan in. My goal is to have about 85% of the game plan done by the time we leave, and then, you know, we'll really kick in. Nice thing is playing the Saturday game. It's kind of a normal game week, so you know, I think we'll be ready to go by the time we get down there.